Right, looks like we're live. Wonderful. New surrounding tonight, and I'll explain why I'm actually down here instead of in the bedroom, obviously. Right, be careful. Move a little bit forward here. It's coming off. Move that forward a little bit. Right, there we go. Now I can sit properly in the chair without having to do my back in. I've got one person in, one like. Wonderful. Hopefully wait a little bit longer for a few more people to join. Oh, thanks for that, Louis. I appreciate that. A lot of good YouTubers out there, but to be a favourite is good. I'll explain why I'm down here tonight. I'm in my living room. I'm not upstairs. Usually base myself upstairs for all my videos, but I'm down here tonight. And I'll explain why in a bit. It's not really nothing dramatic, but simple reason really why I'm down here. Hopefully, hello everyone. How are you all doing on this fine February evening? Very crisp outside. And come and join me for about an hour or so while we just discuss and rant about all things Fulham. So we've got 7 people in the club, in the stream. It's now 8, which is good. We'll get cracking very shortly. 9 now, it's good. We're going up to 10 again. Back on the live shows. It's Fulhamish, do it yourself. No, I'm not trying to undercut Fulhamish in whatever way. I'm actually part of their. I'm not trying to undercut or whatever. This is basically what I'm trying to do. This is trying to add a bit of personalities for myself, so people actually can see a bit more of me. I'm not trying to undercut Fulhamish in any way at all. On that background, I'm downstairs actually watching the darts. That's why I've actually got this. These actually my blinds actually in the living room, so that's why I'm down here tonight because I've got the darts on and I don't want to miss it. But yeah, as I said, I'm not undercutting Fulhamish or anything like that in any way. It's just basically my own little thing I like to do. It's basically, yeah. So, you know, I'm not trying to steal anyone's ideas. Obviously, I'm not as popular as Fulhamish podcast, so I don't think they've got any means to worry, really. So, almost 1.5k. Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close. New set. And it's only going to be temporary. I'm only downstairs, as I said, because I'm watching the darts as well at the same time. I didn't want to miss it, so I thought I'd do a bit of combination of both. That's why I keep glancing to the top right of your screen. So yeah, bit of this and bit of that. Hopefully I don't get too much flack for doing this. I don't want to get anyone jumping in the bandwagon and say I'm copying people, because I'm not. This is my own little thing that I want to do. It's basically my own take on things. So if people have got a complaint about it, then feel free to air it, but I'm not going to get frustrated. Do you need help? No, I don't think I need help. My prediction for Man United, I'm going to get my prediction tomorrow. The preview's come out tomorrow, so I'm going to keep all that on ice. Give your best 180 impression. I'm not doing that, no way. I'm not embarrassing myself on stream, no way. Because I just know there'll be someone somewhere who will probably screen record it and then look to stick it all over social media and you are an amazing YouTuber. I appreciate that. I try my best. I'm not trying to, as I say, copy anyone else. These are all my ideas, which just happen to have been used by other people as well. I mean, I'm not trying to undercut anyone from doing this. It's my own thing where I'm talking about things. So yeah, the whole idea really for the Fulham fan, because I'm a fan myself, so basically it's an individual fan really, you know, so I'm not trying to undercut Fulhamish in whatever way. Obviously being a small part of their team at the moment, as I am. Hopefully as the predicted 11 coming out on their channel tomorrow, there should be something coming out tomorrow on there, so keep your eyes peeled over on the Fulhamish channel. My predicted 11 for Saturday's game should come out, so just have to wait and see where we go from there. To be fair, I probably should have already changed the title this already. I think the title's actually a little bit silly really, but yeah. So we got. I think Markovic will make it. Well, by the sounds of it, he's not going to play this weekend. I think he'll play next weekend by the sounds of it. So it'll be a shame. I don't think I predicted the Fulham win. I don't think I said that, but I'm going to preview tomorrow. You'll find my score prediction out. Thoughts on the Palace game? It's disappointing, really, wasn't it? On the whole, I thought we built on that fantastic win in midweek. I thought we had something to build upon to then go and really turn the corner and try and put a good challenge into start. We didn't do that, unfortunately. So we're back to where we were again. So yeah, thoughts, opinions on the Schürrle scandal? Well, look, he came out and said on social media that the papers had really misinterpreted what he said, but I think we all know really, regardless of, you know, it's going to be inevitable. If we go down, he will leave. I never would imagine him staying if we stayed up. If we went down, I'd be very surprised if he were to stick around. I don't see any reason why he would. I think it's been a disappointment really. And Mawson's probably out for the rest of the season. Yeah, he's been injured for a while. I think he aggravated that same knee injury he had prior to his move to Fulham from Swansea, so I think he's aggravated that again. So he should be out for a while. Who'll win the league? I don't know. I think Liverpool win the league. They were my bet for the start of the season, but Man City have pulled it back. A 7-point deficit has been retrieved, so I think it's going to go down to the wire. Who do you expect us to leave if you go down? I think Ryan Babel will go, Schürrle will go. Well, I think a few players will go. I don't know whether we're going to be able to sell them all right away. There might have to be a few loans in there because when you go down, it's not straightforward just selling everybody out and then rebuilding again. It's going to be hard. The financial fair play is going to be a big, big problem for us next year because of what we spent this year. I saw people on Twitter saying, oh yeah, we're going to have like £80 million if we sell certain people and this, that and other, but it's not going to be as easy as that. Who do you think we promote from the Championship? I think Norwich are my banker to go up. I think they'll win the league. Leeds I know Leeds are doing all right at the moment, but I don't know. Leeds, I think, have got a bit of a paper-thin squad, so I still think they might have enough to go up. I think my top two would be Norwich and Sheffield United. And I don't know who comes up through them playoffs. It's going to be a tight playoff, so I think Norwich and Sheffield United go up first and second. And if I'm have to be going through the playoffs, I'd probably go West Brom, because I think they've got that know-how, they've got that experienced core in their side, and I think that would stand them in good stead to get them through a tough playoff campaign. Any hope for us in the Man United game? Well, probably not, but I don't want to talk too much about that, as I said. Got the preview out tomorrow, which we'll go into a lot more detail about, so I don't know, it's looking unlikely. Thoughts on Salford City, I'm sure you mean, not Salford United. I think they're called Salford City, I think, aren't they, the football club in the National League? I do watch the National... I'm a follower of non-league, so I do keep an eye on things. Yeah, they're doing all right, aren't they, Salford? I know David Beckham's recently bought a stake in the club, so big things are going to be happening there, but I fully expect them to get promoted, really, this season. With the group they've got down there, there's some standout players in that team. I know Adam Rooney springs to mind. Rory Gaffney as well, so I definitely think they'll probably go up. Yeah, I know Salford are questioned to be the Man City of the National League. They've got a lot of financial backing and a lot of financial power, haven't they? They've got a group of players there who probably could play in at least a level above, if not 2 levels above. There's certainly a few individuals there who are probably not National League footballers, but I'll be surprised if they don't go up this year. I know how hard it is to go up from the National League, because only 2 teams go up, which I do find a bit ludicrous, really. How one go up, one team wins the league, and then one goes up through the playoffs, which is a bit silly, really. Opinions on Leyton Orient? Yeah, I think Leyton Orient for me are my pick to win the National League. I think Justin Edinburgh's done well this year. I remember he went in there last year. I can't remember who was in charge there last year. I think it was that Mr. Gilbert of the Twins lookalike. I can't remember his name now, but he was in charge last year, wasn't he? Then Justin Edinburgh took charge. Well, they've had a good season this year. I think if we go down, I'd like to see us maybe try and buy Macaulay Bonne. I think he's a good striker. He scores a bucket load of goals in the National League. Every week he seems to pop up and score. So he's definitely a good player. And yeah, I think if they go up this year and that, the good times should come back to Leyton Orient. They're a big club, shouldn't be in the non-league. It was Davis in charge, yeah. That name does ring a bell now. If a combined London 11 played a combined Manchester 11, who would win? Well, suppose really, I don't know. Or I think you'd probably have to do if you're going to generalise like 2 different things, you'd probably have to go north versus south, really. A Southern 11 probably versus a Northern 11. I think that would be interesting. Like the teams down south, your Arsenals, your Spurses, your City, Chelsea, and them sort of clubs against maybe your northern teams who probably have got a bit more firepower, like City, Liverpool, Man United, all in the northern area. So I'd probably say, I'll probably go north, I'd say, if I had to generalise that. I know I've tweaked that question a small bit, but yeah, I'd probably do that. Go northern to win that. Looks like the darts about to get underway in a minute. First match looks like it's up, so be keeping a little close eye on this. Obviously got to keep the volume on the TV down, so I don't want to get copyright struck or something off of Sky Sports for having their audio filter through and actually come up onto the stream, which would be really stupid. And I won't want the repercussions to follow off there. But if you've got any more questions to ask, guys, then do feel free to comment away in that. Snooker versus darts, well, I like both, really. I do watch the snooker and the darts. I know the Grand Prix, I think it is in Cheltenham at the moment, or it has been on Eurosport and that for the past couple of nights. But I do watch a bit of that as well. So I like both, really. Worst moment as a Fulham fan? Well, recently, probably relegation from the Premier League 4 years ago. I mean, it's probably going to happen again this year. It wasn't nice. The couple of seasons that followed afterwards were horrible, so I expect it to follow again and happen. Which could be a shame, but it's the ups and downs of a football fan, to go from one season to fighting promotion to going up to the following year to go down. It's up and down. See, Seri was wearing a Man United shirt. Yeah, I know Seri was wearing a Man United shirt, the salmon pink one. This is, need I say more on that one? What league would City be in without the Arabs, do you think? I'd probably say they'd probably be in the Premier League, I think. Probably around mid-table. To be fair, even before they were had the financial backing, they were still getting big attendances down at the old ground. I can't remember what it was called now. trying to think what Man City's old ground was called. I can't remember now, but they weren't a small club, not by any stretch of the means, but they were a bigger club. But obviously, the financial firepower they've got now has definitely helped them achieve more in the English game. That's it, Main Road. Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, F1 or I can't remember that question. I think it was Formula One. I don't mind Formula One. I don't mind it. I don't watch it throughout the season. I maybe watch a couple of the Grand Prix per weekend, but I don't watch a lot. So yeah, what do you think? Who do you think won the Premier League? Liverpool or Premier League, Liverpool or Man City? I'm trying to make it fair enough. Yeah, my bet was Liverpool to win the league, but I don't know. That Man City really turning that 7-point deficit back. Even about a week ago, they looked like they were down and out, really, didn't they? So to turn it around so quickly does suggest that they've got a bit more of a chance than probably most people thought they would have around this time last week. But I still fancy Liverpool to win it. I don't understand. I don't know why, but I just think Liverpool. I still think Liverpool. I think can Tottenham win the league? Do you think they've got a chance? Haven't they? They're right in there. You forget how close, how tight it is up there between them three teams. They're only separated by about 4 or 5 points from third to first, so it's quite tight, isn't it? So I think with Harry Kane coming back soon, it will only boost their chances. I know they've still got to play Liverpool and Man City yet, I think, as well at home, and they've got to go to Anfield yet as well. So there's going to be plenty more twists and turns yet. Which London club do you hate the most, and which London club do you hate the least? Oh, it's a tough question. I'd probably say QPR. I'd probably say, I don't know. I don't really hatred. You probably put Chelsea up there, obviously. I think when I went to Stamford Bridge before Christmas, and then you could really sum up why we don't like Chelsea, why they probably don't like us. So I'd probably say Chelsea. Which London club do I hate the least? I don't know. I'd probably say Tottenham, really. I don't have much of a problem with Tottenham. I actually don't mind Tottenham, really, to be fair. So I'd probably go Chelsea I hate the most, and probably Tottenham I generally don't. I hate the least, really, if that could be said. Worst and best fans of the Premier League. I don't know. I get that a lot, really. Most tin pot rivalry in England says Brighton versus Palace. Yeah, I think Brighton versus Palace, really. It's all the rivalry. I think really came of age due to this whole thing. I think when Terry Venables was manager of Brighton or Palace, I think it was something to do with the playoffs or something. I think Brighton knocked Palace out of the playoffs many years ago or something like that, and I think that's how the rivalry forms because they're not geographically nowhere near each other, are they? Brighton all the way down by the seaside in Sussex, while Crystal Palace are up in the jungle of London. So, I think it was basically formed on the playoffs, I think, really, which is uncertain. Will we bounce back? Will we bounce straight back to the Premier League after relegation? Asked Philip. Probably not. I think next season, if we go down, will probably be a rebuilding season. I think we probably won't challenge. I'd be surprised if you did, but if we were to challenge, I think I'd be surprised. I think we're probably about a top half finish next year is probably what I'd hope for, and then maybe rebuild in the second year, which would probably be part of the plan. What did you think of Rangers or Morelos? I was actually watching the Aberdeen game last night, and I don't think it was much of a red card for Morelos. I thought there was no really malice, I don't think, in that so-called stamp really on the Aberdeen bloke really. But Morelos has been sent off 3 or 4 times in his last Aberdeen game, so he can't last a full 90 minutes against Aberdeen, can he? So I did watch it though, but I don't think it's a red card. Yes, I am going to the Man United game on Saturday. First Fulham game, or first league game I've been to this new year actually, so it'd be nice to get back to Fulham. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully now go for the rest of the season, try to get as many games as I can, and then wind down in the summer before we go back and do it all again. Cop United did explain a bit. Yeah, I have watched a bit of the Derby days. I'm probably have to watch that again. If you know it's about a presentation on Twitter, it's about the Fulham fans. You want to look at presentation. That really, I suppose it's good to get other fans' opinions, but sometimes it's good to think about what like the opinions for you. What about Fulham Football Club are you more passionate about? What things are you passionate about as a person? And it's also good to get other people's opinions as well. I mean, there's lots of stuff that I've spoke about time and time again. That's what I think is wrong with the club, and I don't want to go down that line again too much because I sound like a record, like a broken record really. So, but yeah. Do you watch Peaky Blinders? No, I don't watch Peaky Blinders actually. I'm one of the people who can't really get into many TV series. I don't understand. I just can't really sit down and get into. I'm not one of the people who can watch like different episodes of so many things back to back. Really, do you agree with the fans boycotting because how poor the owners are? Was that talking about Newcastle? Was it? Because if that's Newcastle, then I'd probably agree. Do you watch Narcos? I've never heard of that, so I wouldn't say that. Do you think we'll get a draw against United this Saturday? Probably not. Probably not. I think what's going to happen on Saturday is we're going to sit behind the ball with like 5 men and look to try in this part that's just contain United for as long as possible. Fans, okay, generalisation of fans boycotting games about owners. Well, yeah, I think it's the right thing to do. Obviously, I live not far from Charlton, so I know a lot about the whole aspect of negative owners is in the local papers most of the time. I mean, for the past couple of years, it's definitely been front page news of the local papers, the way the club's been running to the ground effectively. So I do understand, and I do actually back the whole idea of supporters actually boycotting games. Who do you think won the Championship, Leeds or Norwich? Simple question for me. I do watch Championship highlights every week. Norwich for me, I'm a big fan of the way they play. They're just a really good side this year. They've really come of age. I remember last year, they finished about 14th last year under Daniel Farker. But it shows that if you give credit to the manager, stick by him and that, you reap the rewards. They've played some fantastic football this year, scoring a bucket load of goals as well. So they're my pick to win the league. I just think Leeds have got a bit too much. I think Leeds' squad's a little bit thin on the ground. I think they could probably done with a couple more signings in January. And I think Norwich got a little bit more strength in depth just to see him over the line. What do you think about our new signings in January? I don't know. The new signings in January were a little bit disappointing, I felt, really. I thought we could have I thought generally really disappointing, I'd say. Most entertaining league division in England, probably the Championship, I'd say. I think if you want value for money, the Championship is the best place for that. It's the whole aspect of you could be a team who go 10 games unbeaten. You could play against a team who bottom the league, haven't won a game since 2 or 3 the previous months ago, and they could go and beat you 1-0 or something like that. And then if you're in the Championship, you don't really raise an eyelid to it. Where other fans in other leagues are fascinated by it and think, how can that happen? But when you're in the Championship, all them results and that, they're basically common. Who would you replace Mitrovic and Sessegnon with if they leave? That's a good question. It depends. It all depends on who the manager is really next year, and that's going to have a big say on what happens. And it also depends how much of an involvement Tony Khan will have in the club. Because I know it's like every day I log on to social media, and he gets flack by at least one individual constantly who absolutely just destroys him on Twitter, which is understandable, and you can see why he gets the sort of frustration towards him. But going back to the whole signings, I'm not too sure really. I mean, if Norwich were not to go up this year, I would like Teemu Pukki. I think he's the type of player who would be fantastic for us. He's not a workaholic, but he's the type of player who, if you were in and around the 5-yard box, he's a poacher, and that's probably what we don't have really at the moment, I think. So probably someone like him. Probably Joe Lolly as well from Nottingham Forest. I'm a big fan of him. I think Jared Bowen probably cost a little bit too much money, I think, to get him out of Hull. I think they want about £20 million. And if we're in the Championship next year, we probably won't be able to get that. Son Belonga's a good shout, but again, I don't know if Middlesbrough want to part ways with him to especially another club who will have aspirations to try and get out of the league at the first time of asking. And it all depends if Middlesbrough can finish in the top 6. I think they're occupying, are they 5th at the moment in the top 6? So if they could even go up next year, which would probably put a bit of a spanner in the plans there. Would you take anyone from Brentford? We'll quickly hold that question. Thomas Harrington, Billy Sharp. Yes, I'd take him in a heartbeat. I think he's a good striker. Would you take anyone from Brentford or QPR next season? I'd probably take Luke Freeman. If we were to sell Tom Kearney, I think the best replacement we could get would be Luke Freeman. I think he's probably a similar type of player as you'd probably get really with Tom Kearney. Similar attributes, similar type of playing style. So I'd probably go take Luke Freeman out of QPR. I don't think he'll be there next year, if I'm being brutally honest. I don't think he'll be at QPR next year. So I think it'd be a perfect opportunity for him to come to a club with promotion aspirations. Ollie Watkins would be a good idea, but again, if we're in the Championship next year, he'd probably cost too much, and you've got to remember that we can't spend that much money next year, I don't think, really. If you could get any player, who would you pick? Well, it's a tough one. To get one, I don't know. It's always hard to try and generalise one player in the Champions. Depends what division we're in. If we stand up next year and that, then I think if we were to start next year, I think we'd probably end up what Sunderland did. That's that conveyor belt of overpaid type of players from all over the globe. I'm not just talking about foreign players in general. I'm talking about players from the UK, from over here and everywhere really. I think would be like Sunderland, where when you get on that conveyor belt of signing them number of players, that will eventually catch up to you, and then the whole idea of fight relegation will eventually catch up to you as well. Would you take Scott Parker? Would you take Scott Parker in charge? No, would not take Scott Parker at all. If we take Scott Parker, then we've not learned from the whole Kit Simons debacle, really, have we? Given a former player the managerial job doesn't always guarantee success, and you've only got to really refresh your minds and cast your minds back to about 3 years ago when it didn't work. So I don't really see what the point would be in Scott Parker taking charge. If it was an interim basis while we appoint a manager towards the end of the season, and I can understand that, but I just don't really see the point in doing that at the moment. I think really he could probably do with maybe cutting his teeth somewhere else. I think it all depends on what happens this year, though. If we go down, a new coach comes in, and he wants his own coaching staff in, then he'll have to move away from the club and maybe go back to Spurs and maybe coach the academy again, or maybe look somewhere else to cut his teeth in the managerial world. It's a tough one really, but on the whole, Scott Parker for me, it's a no. So yeah, what's the start score? Best of 12. Wade 2, Barney 2. Tight game. Oh, 3-2 James Wade now. Double 12 there. Double five, I think that was. But yeah, if you've got any more questions, as I said, keep them coming. It can be anything football related. If you've got any more, obviously I don't see the questions come up on the screen a bit too much. So if I don't read your question out, then always feel free to comment it again, and I'll try and get through to it on the second time. There's sometimes you get a general flash of questions come up in about a bunch or something like that. Worst away day you've been to? Oh, I don't know really. Most of the away games I've gone to, well, most of the away days I go to, we seem to win, and I generally enjoy the away days. But I like Norwich. I think Norwich was a good away day last year. I did Ipswich as well, a couple of others as well in between. I've been to Charlton's away ground, which was all right. But yeah, we should have signed Ollie. I don't know. Ollie Norwood signed on a permanent. I don't know. I don't think we've got much game time for us this year. But if we're going down next year, I'd have loved him. But by the looks of it, it could be a roles reversal. We might go down and Sheffield United might go up, so it makes our whole thing a lot harder. Did you see the Brighton versus West Brom game? I didn't see. I watched actually the Aberdeen Rangers game. Actually, I didn't catch that one. Would you take Paul Heckingbottom? Did a good job at Barnsley a few seasons ago. Probably not, because again he did all right at Barnsley, seen as a smaller club. But then he went back. He went to Leeds, bigger club, bigger expectations, and he basically crumbled really. So probably not. And it's probably an indication as to probably why he's not got a job anytime soon, as he's been out of the game. If we're going into April soon, it's a matter of weeks or so to April. It'd be about a year since he had a job. So I think that speaks volumes. I think he'd be good for a sort of club looking to try and maybe get into the type of playoff scenario as a championship club. But I think if you're going to go to a club with promotion aspirations such as Leeds or maybe even Fulham next year, then probably not. Would you take Morelos from Rangers? Yes, I probably would actually, to be fair. But I think he'd probably be like the similar type of player to Mitrovic. He'd probably have to learn to try and control his temper sometimes. Go watch the Rangers game last night, and he got sent off again, didn't he? And he does have that temper problems, but he's a good goal scorer. He sniffs out chances. He scored 2 goals again last night. I think he's scored over 20 goals this season, I think it is. So yeah, I'll definitely take him, provided he can learn to just control his anger and look to channel that in the more appropriate way, instead of trying to stamp on people and things like that. Would you take Brendan Rodgers? I don't know. I think if he's going to leave Celtic, he'd probably want to go to the Premier League, and I think he could leave Celtic soon. I think if they don't win the league this year, I'd probably expect him to leave, but I think they're 6 points clear of Rangers at the moment, or something like that, even though Rangers won last night, so I'd probably expect him to stay put. What if Robertson left Palace? Would you take him? I'm the whole really type of person with the saying, I believe in the saying, never go back. I think he's got such a great legacy with us. Why would he want to go back and maybe take charge of us in the Championship and look to maybe tarnish that? You look at Neil Warnock and Sheffield United, he never went back there, After what he did at Sheffield United, he got them promoted. I know they went down, but he had such a good reputation there that he's never gone back there. I know Ian Holloway went back to QPR last year. That wasn't really a successful marriage, was it really? His tenure wasn't brilliant, but yeah, I'd probably say no to Roy Hodgson coming back. Which league would you rather watch? League One or Scottish League? League One for me, I think. Scottish League, I know there's that generalisation, it's only Celtic and Rangers and that. It's been better this year because there's been about 3 or 4 teams involved in the title race. I know Kilmarnock have done well, I know Hearts are doing better than they have done in the past. Rangers are probably look like they're back to where they were before they liquidated and reformed again. But yeah, I'll probably go League One, I think. Thoughts on Steve McLaren? Before this year, I probably said fantastic coach, poor manager, but he's doing all right at QPR with limited resources, so you can only commend him for the job he's doing down there. Who is the GOAT? I don't know who the GOAT is, unfortunately. Who would you want? Would you want Tammy Abraham? Again, we'll have to be careful on how much we'd pay for him. I think if a loan deal, then yeah. But if you're Chelsea, then yeah. I'll be surprised if Chelsea want to sell him. I could easily see him getting into that Chelsea squad at the moment. I know they're not scoring many goals up front. I know they've got Higuain, and you scored at the weekend. Morata's gone back to Spain on an 18th-month loan deal. So I definitely think there's actually room for Tammy Abraham to maybe even get a run at Chelsea and even look to try and develop even further. I know he actually went to Swansea last year and it didn't do too great, and it kind of reminds me of this whole Patrick Bamford type of player who could score goals in the Championship for fun, but then when they make their next step up to the Premier League, they seem to be found wanting a bit. Harvey Barnes, yeah, he's a good player. Obviously had a good season at West Brom this year. He's, first half of the season, actually, before going back to Leicester, where he's actually not done too badly from when I've seen him, actually. He's got quite a lot of game time under Puel. Started a few games, and generally looked quite good, really. So, yeah, I think he's a decent player. Will Moore leave Huddersfield for a top 10 team? I think, really, if you're any sort of team in and around mid-table towards the top half and Huddersfield go down, I think, and you need a good midfielder, then yeah, Aaron Moore's a good player. He could probably get into a top 10 team, I think. So, definitely. Opinions on Tom Kearney? Fantastic player, but not quite, I don't know, needs to play more, I think. How come Ross McCormack fell off the... He was absolute goal scorer, now he's shit. Well, supposedly Aston Villa he struggled, didn't he? I know Di Matteo signed him for, what, £12 million it was, but Steve Bruce came in, he had a few troubles with him, didn't get the game time, and obviously when you're not playing games, you're falling down the pecking order. I know he went to, what's it, Central Coast Mariners, I think it was, and he also went to Melbourne Victory, I think it was, or something like that. 2 loan deals in 2 years, didn't really work. I know he's at Motherwell now on the loan from Aston Villa, but he said he regrets leaving Fulham. I know he did an article before Christmas with a media outlet, and he said he probably should never have left Fulham, but he thought Aston Villa was probably going to be his best chance to get promoted. So it happens, doesn't it? Jordan Rhodes, what happened to him? He's actually not done too bad at Norwich this year, but I know what you mean. He's definitely fallen off the wagon a bit. Do you think he panicked in the summer as you bought a brand new team? Pretty much. I think the window prior to deadline day was brilliant, but I think it all got undone on deadline day where we signed a number of players. What happened was we had a good window up until the deadline day, and I think what I got, the impression I got was that we was informed about a number of players available, and we just went gung-ho and thought, oh, screw it, we'll sign everybody else. I think signing Rico and Fabry was confusing because both goalkeepers came in with hopes of playing first-team football, and that was never going to be the case. You can't play two keepers in goal, and there was always going to be competition. Obviously, the goalkeeping coach we had at the time had left, so Fabry really became an ineffective and useless signing. So I think in a way, deadline day in the summer was probably not our best move. I know Chris Baird actually come up yet. I know he's retired, unfortunately. Sad to see him retire as well, Chris Baird. Bairdinho, as we all know him as. Fantastic servant to our club. Came back a couple of years ago, as we all remember. Helped keep us up in the Championship. But I can only wish him all the best. He was a fantastic servant for us. And I hope he has a happy retirement. Definitely one of my up there and one of my all-time great, well, not all-time greats, but in terms of most improved type of player, then definitely. Opinions on Ryan and Steven Sess? Talking about Ryan Sess, I think if you saw Ranieri's press conference today, I thought the whole impression I got off that was strange, because he said about Ryan Sess he's got to be a bit more aggressive and toughen up a bit. Well, that was a generalisation. It wasn't actually quoted what he said, but it was a general gist of what he said. And I just don't understand, really. If he's coming out publicly and saying he's got to do this and do that, but he's not going to give him the game time, then why would you actually say that? Because in order for him to develop as a player, he's going to have to get game time. He's not got a lot of that under the new manager this year, which has been a bit of a surprise, really, because he's been a linchpin in our side for about, 18 months, I'd say, or even longer than that now. So to totally discard him out of the first team for a couple of games has been a bit strange. So he needs more game time in order to see the actual improvement. So you need David Button? Probably not. I watched a little bit of that Brighton game last night, and I saw him flap at a few crosses. I know Dan Burn and that made a bit of a hash of a set piece which went in the second half. So probably not. If we do stay up, do you think Rico will sign on the permanent? I hope he will, because he's a fantastic goalkeeper. If we go down, he won't. But if we stay up, then it's more than a possibility. Patrick Roberts from Man City on loan, former Fulham youth player. Will he let him know? He's out in Spain, I think, somewhere now. I don't think that will work, because he sort of really left us in a way when he could have stayed with us and probably for another year and developed, but he went for the bright lights of the big teams and that, and it didn't work. Obviously, Man City's career never got going there. He also went to Celtic as well, so it's been difficult. Fulham Man United score prediction. You have to wait till tomorrow for that. Prediction out tomorrow, preview out tomorrow, so hold your horses there and you'll find out that tomorrow. I'm giving no spoilers, really. I'm going to keep my Man United predictions tight-lipped until tomorrow when you'll see that. Best Youth Academy in England. Oh, I'm not too sure on that one. Your opinion on the Schürrle thing? Well, I explained that a little bit earlier on, really. Look, if we go down, he'll leave. I think anyone could have really seen that coming from the moment he signed. Apparently, the paper was misinterpreted what he said, but look, he even knows he won't want to stay here next year, so I don't see what's the point in maybe saying it was a lie, because I don't believe it was. We want Baird back, better than Ringwell. Chris Baird, 35 years old or something like that now, is he? Probably could do a better job than Tim Ream, but at a high level, probably not. So he'll probably be now sipping sangrias on a beach somewhere, enjoying his retirement, or maybe getting to coaching. I don't know what happens for him next, but I can only wish him the best. Opinion on Harvey Elliott? Yeah, great. Future's bright for that young lad, isn't he? He's played in the first team of the Carabao Cup, first appearance in the Carabao Cup this year for us. I know he's away with England at the moment. I think I saw on his social media he's away with England at the moment. But yeah, if next year and that, I'd love to see him get in the first team. I think he's got a great future ahead of him, great talent as well. If Salah never passed away, would Cardiff have a better chance of staying up? I think they would have. I think he was definitely a signing that Cardiff lacked. He would have been, in fact, and it's just really sad, really, the events that happen. And it's not nice to see that nonce are really like flying around, like really trying to demand Cardiff to pay the money without even finding, without, you know, having really any thought about, you know, because the bodies, I know there's been a body retrieved from the wreckage, but it's not been identified yet, and it probably won't be, it probably will be identified privately to the families of the respective people in there. But I think Nonce should really just let it just, you know, let the identification come out first before they start going public about chasing the money and stuff. I know he was a Cardiff player before the accident. I know he signed his contract and stuff like that, but I think there's just a bit better ways of going about it, really. New background, it's only just a one-off, so only just a one-off this is in my living room. So I'll be back in the bedroom tomorrow for the preview, you will see. Saturday's a 12:30 kickoff. Yes, it is on Saturday. If you go there tomorrow at 12:30, you'll be a bit surprised because there'll be no one there. So, but if you go on Saturday, you'll be a bit more happy because the game will be on Saturday and it's not tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon. We need Seth Minor at right back. Probably. There's been talk about who's going to start right back on Saturday because there's been a few injuries. I think Christie's out injured, Fossey Mendes is out injured. So who starts right back, I don't know. Will Seth getting to England? He needs to play more, doesn't he? He needs to play more. Have you ever sat in the cottage? Yeah, I did the stadium tour 4 years ago, and I have sat on the cottage balcony. I've been in the cottage before as well, yeah. So I have sat in there, not for a game, but I did the stadium tour 4 or 5 years ago, and I have had the pleasure of going in the cottage and sitting down there. So yeah, I can tick that off the bucket list if you even want to call it a bucket list item. But yeah, I have done that. Fulham Fan TV, is it based on AFTV? It's probably a little bit more mellow, I'd say, than AFTV. It's a decent watch. It's a lot more mellow, so it's not like ranting and raving, but it's a good watch. Have you ever heard of Tony Gale? Of course I've heard of Tony Gale. See him on Sky a lot, talking about Fulham, ex-Fulham player. He's an East London, I think he's from East London, Tony Gale, but yeah, I've got a lot of time for Tony and that. If I could get him on the channel one day, it'd be brilliant, but that will never happen, so... but yeah, I've got a lot of time for Tony, even though I don't know him, but... He's a respectable guy in the media, so yeah, I like Tony Gale. He's my granddad's cousin. But yeah, well, that's good. Small world, isn't it, really? All these famous people and that. It's a very, very, very small world. Are you upset you might be missing Spurs' new stadium? I don't know. It'd be nice to go to, but it's just one of the things that happens, and it's football, so it happens, and you can't control certain things like that. It's like, it'd be unfortunate, yes, but you can't control it. It looks like James Wade won the first game, 7-4. Hit the bullseye to win there. Decent game. As I said, if you've got any more questions, guys, keep them coming as well. Your 6 steps from everyone. Okay, I don't understand. Well, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I got my head around that now. Yeah. Do you get on the tube to Putney? Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I do get the tube to Putney. Yeah. Your opinion on Tony Khan, what he does for the community? I saw on social media the other night he made a big donation to the I think London Calling when they walked to the London away grounds for I think it's something to do with prostate cancer, something like that. I think that's really good. Regardless of what he's done in terms of the footballing side of things, you can't help but really admire his generosity towards charities and his donations to sort of them things he didn't have to do, and it just shows that he's a very kind person. Have you had any snow yet? We had snow Friday. We had no snow the whole this week and that. I live in South London, by the way. Yeah, we haven't had any snow for about since Friday really. So I think that's all. That's all behind everyone now, I think, the snow. And I think once we break into about middle of March and that, spring will hopefully break through a bit and we'll maybe be on the way to a bit more of a warmer climate. Tottenham fans are tired of Wembley, I can see that really. I think they're not getting big attendances down there, are they, compared to... I think the Watford game had about, 29,000 there or something, which is a bit sad, but... I'm not sad in a bad way, but sad for the club because it's a fantastic club, but... Yeah, I know Spurs isn't near his place because it's not easy to get to Wembley for many fans, really. But it's easy for me to get to, but not for me. Johan Mollo or Jordan Graham? Johan Mollo, because I never really saw Jordan Graham play a game for us. What is the percent of us staying up? Oh, I'd probably go 5%, something like that. Less than 10. As a thing to go for Spurs, it's been a real headache this season. I can imagine it has. Obviously, I think before the whole saga with the stadium, I think we was only meant to be the only team to play at Wembley. And I remember when the fixtures got announced, we was all really annoyed because we was the only team meant to be playing at Wembley, and then it got prolonged and pushed forward. So yeah, are you going to any away games this season? I don't know yet. Away games are not convenient for me to get to, and most weekends I am a bit busy on following weekends. Have you heard of Jared HD? He's a Fulham fan from Australia. I'm a Fulham fan from Cambridgeshire. Thanks, my dad. Yes, I have heard of Jared HD. I do watch. I have heard of Jared yet. I'd love it if he watched some of my videos and that, some of my match vlogs all the way from Australia. If he could, that'd be great. But he's probably never even heard of this channel. He's been on Fulhamish, but yeah. If he ever stumbles across all my videos and that, I'd be more than happy to hopefully see him watch some of the videos and that. He's a cracking lad. I don't know him personally, but I'll see him on social media. It was good to see him come to Craven Cottage. Are you going to Craven Cottage Saturday? Yeah, I'm going back Saturday. First time since the FA Cup game against Oldham, so I'm looking forward to going back. Much better now, so I've got the green light to go back, which is great. So I'm looking forward to it. Not every day you get to see Man United play, so you know, these next few games are going to be good for... Are you going to... Yeah, I probably am, yeah. I'm probably going to be there for all the rest of the home games this season, barring any more bad health incidents, but I should be there for every other home game this season. I might do a couple of away games this year, I'm not too sure yet. Do you think we'll beat Man U? Probably not. I don't really think we will, unfortunately. I'd like to think we can, but I don't think we will. Do you think they'll drop ticket prices next year if we go down? Yeah, I think they will. I'd be surprised if they didn't, but they'll probably drop, but not significantly. Zoltan Gera or Bobby Zamora? That's a tough one. Both players I did like a lot. I'd probably go Zoltan Gera, I'd say. Bobby Zamora's fantastic, but I'd probably say Gera, just marginally, I think, in my opinion. If you could choose one Fulham shirt out of all the ones that have ever existed, which one would you choose? Probably that Pizza Hut shirt from, I think, 2002 or something. I really like that one. I thought that was a cracking home shirt. So probably that Pizza Hut one. Are you going to get a season ticket next season? Yes, I'll probably be renewing next year and that. Renew every year, so I'll probably be doing the same again next year. Who's going down this year? Huddersfield, I think, are down. I think we'll go down, and I'd probably go Cardiff. So Huddersfield, Fulham and Cardiff. Thoughts on Man United fans that don't even come from the UK, never mind Manchester? Well, I suppose, look, Man United are a big club, and I suppose when you live abroad and that, you don't get to see Championship games a lot. Lower league English football's not broadcasted a lot, is it? So the only real games you're seeing abroad are the big games, so I can kind of sympathise why they follow big teams, but Man United are a global brand, like Liverpool are a global brand as well, so they're going to obviously attract so many supporters across the world because it's about the brand as well as the club, so you can understand why as well. Do you go to games alone or with your friends or family? I go with my granddad, actually. My granddad's been a supporter for a long, long time, but I go with him, so yeah, I sit with him. And then sometimes he can't make it, so I sometimes go on my own, but 9 times out of 10 I do go with my granddad. Out of all three, Man United, Chelsea or Arsenal, who finished top 4? It's a tough one. I think it's out of either Chelsea or Man United, but I've just got a funny feeling that Man United might sneak it, I think. I don't know about Chelsea. I think they're going for a little bit of a wobble, aren't they? So I think Man United just probably sneak it. From the I went up to Anfield. When did I go? I think it was in the last March. I went for one of the charity games, and I went up there to go to Anfield and that. And the amount of Liverpool fans at Euston Station was ridiculous. On the train up to Liverpool and all the way back, and on the train back as well, it was ridiculous. Do you watch any non-league vlogs? Yeah, I do. I watch. I can't remember what his name is now. The Ebbsfleet vlog. I can't remember what his name is now. But I do watch him a lot. I can't remember what his name is now, but I do. My great guy started to see Fulham in 1922. That's just what I like. When you speak to the older generation of people, of Fulham fans and that, you do. That's what I do. When I go to Fulham and that, I like speaking to people around me and that, and even on the train and that, because some of the stories you get are just brilliant. So it's really good. Yeah, Nathan Holt, that's the lad. Yeah, I do watch his videos a lot. Well, now and again when I can do. Yeah, that's the name. I knew it was Nathan something, but I didn't want to try and second guess. I do watch him. Do you watch Loudmouth BFC? Yeah, I do. Sometimes you might see me comment on his videos. I do watch him as well. He's generally quite funny. I know he supports Barnet, so yeah, I do watch his videos, and I occasionally comment on them. I commented on his Sheffield United video as well, talking about the game and that, and he always replies to them. So yeah, I find him quite comical as well. He's a good watch as well. Haven't watched his Brentford away game yet, but I'll probably catch that later on tonight, or probably in the next couple of days. But yeah, they're probably the two non-league video people I'll probably watch the most, really, aside from obviously the highlight shows and things like that. Yeah, Loudmouth is quite funny, actually. I like the whole... I like his jokes and that. He's quite comical. I like his intros. Well, his intro's quite funny as well, where he's... You know, it just makes me laugh. That's good, yeah. Going to Fulham with your granddad. Yeah, that's what it's about, really, isn't it? Going with your family, like passing down the whole support from generation and stuff like that. Do you like Barnet as a club? Common second team for Arsenal Spurs fans? Yeah, I don't mind Barnet, yeah. Have you ever been abroad? Yeah, I have. I've been to Italy twice. I've been to Italy twice. Spain, Ibiza. I've been to Ibiza twice. Mallorca about 4 times. Cyprus. So I have been a few places. New place? No, it's my living room. So you normally see me in my bedroom. So This is down in my living room, but yeah, it's not a new place. It's a different change of a scenery. Who beat Middlesbrough in the FA Cup? Newport County beat them. I hope that's a genuine question, or it might be a bit of sarcasm, but I don't know. But yeah, Newport beat them 2-0, didn't they, Tuesday? In the pouring rain in Wales. Yep, Newport did. With the main man, Podrick Hammond. That's his record in the FA Cup's quality this year. He scored in all 4 rounds. He scored in the first round, second round, third round, fourth round. If he scores against in the FA Cup against Man City, it will be his 5th goal in the FA Cup, won't it? RP Busby Babes, gone but never forgotten. Yeah, I know the Munich headers Arsenal was yesterday, which was a bit of a tragic, which is sad, isn't it, for all people involved with United, which was sad. Such a good generation of Man United players tragically taken away, which is sad. And I sometimes think why people currently mock things like that. I think it's sick, isn't it, really, why people can mock that. I know sometimes rival clubs of Man United, like City and Liverpool, do sing derogatory songs about them, and it's just really ridiculous, really, I think. Do you drive? Not at the moment. I don't drive at the moment. Have you ever been to Brisbane Road? Yes, I have, actually. Some of my family are actually Cambridge United season ticket holders, and I went there 2 years ago when they had Sean Derry in charge. I went away. I went to Stevenage away Boxing Day, and then we went New Year's Day away to Leyton Orient, where they 1-0 up, and then Leyton Orient scored. Ollie Palmer scored literally the last kick of the game just to sink and Cambridge United hearts. I was in the Cambridge away in that day. It was a good atmosphere and that, but when that goal went in, it was just like, ugh. What about Neil Maupay? Yeah, he's a good striker, but Brentford in January said they were going to turn down offers less than £20 million. So unless we've got £20 million to spend in the Championship, then unfortunately not. I've seen a Liverpool fan mock the Salah disaster. Any thoughts? Yeah, I mean, I see it on Twitter. There's some silly people who just do it for the fact that they want attention, don't they? On Twitter, some people do, and they'll say the most controversial things about some of the most tragic events just to try and get a few retweets and likes, which is silly, really. And the Salah situation is just an incredible tragedy. I can't reiterate how sad it is. It's just absolutely horrible. And I remember I was watching the Cardiff game Saturday, and seeing Neil Warnock cry after the game, it was horrible. You know, as much as people might not like him and people might not like Cardiff, what's happened is for both clubs, even Nantes as well. It's not nice, and I wish in some way that he'd come, that they could find him alive and well, but it's looking very unlikely, and it's more than likely that he's sadly passed away in the crash. But it's not. My thoughts are with everyone involved with Salah, his friends, his family, and it's just sad, isn't it? What has gone wrong with Fulham this season? I don't know. It's hard to really put my finger on what exactly has gone wrong. Do you like Noel Warnock? Because that's his brother. I don't know, but I'll take that's Neil. I know it's meant to be Neil Warnock, but I do like to laugh at that. Dwight Gale to come to Fulham if we go down? Probably not, because I think if West Brom go up, they'll want to sign him on the permanent. Especially with Rondon doing well at Newcastle, I could see that deal working. Them 2 deals working for both clubs, really. So probably it'll be highly unlikely that we'd probably get Dwight Gale in, especially if West Brom go up. If they don't go up, then it might be a different scenario, but probably not. What do you think about Lazar Markovic? He's got a point to prove, hasn't he? But I don't think it's a great signing. But yeah. Who's next on the darts? We've got Gerwin Price up against Daryl Gurney. If anyone watched the darts, we know Daryl Gurney's got the best walk-on song in the whole of darts. Sweet Caroline is absolutely brilliant. Belting out in front of like 9,000 in Newcastle tonight. It'll just be brilliant. I think Gerwin Price is coming out now on that. Interesting. I shouldn't be talking about the darts because it's about a football stream, but yeah. I do like the old darts. It's one of my favourite sports. I will still have that. I can't. Okay, I admire the optimism that you won't admit defeat until it's mathematically the thing. But we're all but down. 7 points. It's going to be hard to turn it around, isn't it? Thoughts on Arsenal fans talking about Emery having 45 million in the summer? It's laughable, isn't it? Really, 45 million for a club like Arsenal to spend. It's silly, isn't it? Would you go to Ali Pally to watch darts? I do want to go. I've not been before, but I'm hoping to maybe go to the World Championship this year, hopefully, all being well. I would like to go there. It'd be fantastic. I know how great it is. What do you think of Darren Moore as the manager for West Brom? I like Darren Moore. I've been a big fan of him. I think he was great last year. He almost kept them up, remember. They didn't go down. They didn't go down by many points. They stayed up, nearly stayed up. He's done well this year. MVG's just a freak, isn't he? I've never seen a player consistently hit triple 20 or treble 20, whatever, how you want to say it. Never seen a player consistently hit. It's just ridiculous how easy he makes it look. Just his scoring power is second to none. He's more than on his day. He could dismantle an average player in about 15 minutes if it's like a 12-leg game or even sets. He's just from another planet. We'll never get anyone. We'll probably never get a player who's consistently performing to a top level like Phil Taylor, but Michael Van Gerwen can definitely at least break MVG's record, Barney's record. I think it was 5 World Championships, 4. I can't remember if it was 5 World Championships. I think it was. Most overrated player in the Premier League. I can name a whole load of players really who are overrated, but overrated, I don't know. I'd probably take Hazard's up. I don't know. Hazard's not overrated, really, is he? But I don't know. It's a tough one. I think I'll pass on that one. That was in 2013 when he was hit 2-9 darts. I think that was against James Wade. He hit the first one. I think it was 16 perfect darts or 17 perfect darts, and he missed the final double, didn't he? I've seen people on Twitter slag off Hazard. Many Spurs fans do it a lot, but I wasn't when we played them at Stamford Bridge. We actually done a decent job of nullifying his attacking qualities, which is quite good. But yeah, he's generally not great, is he? Really? Oh, right, we're 45 minutes into this stream, which is good. Guys, so quick these streams do. Once I kick off on that, once you get these questions coming in, that they fly by. If Ranieri leaves Fulham end of the season, do you think? Well, it all depends, really. Look, I don't know. Darren Moore will stay at West Brom regardless. He's a West Brom boy through and through, so I don't think he'll go. I could probably agree with Pogba. I do think he's overrated, but me saying that tonight will probably mean he go and play his best game in a United shirt for about, and he'll probably play a fantastic game, score a couple of worldies. In a way, I'm hoping we don't get a penalty because I just don't want to watch that stupid run-up he does. Him taking about 20 seconds to do that bloody run-up, or to stick it in the bottom corner and just give it large, which would annoy me. Yeah, I did see Shrewsbury's result. They were unlucky against Wolves. I think they went 2-1 up, then they lost, 3-2 in the end, I think they did, didn't they? So, to come so close in the first game to actually beating them at home, to then narrowly, have that replay and that, and then go to Molineux and actually play quite well, but they are struggling in the league at the moment, but they're doing all right. Do you think if we go down, we'll get Dwight Gale? Well, I did say a minute ago, I don't think we will get Dwight Gale, because I think if West Brom go up, then he'll probably stay with them. Especially with the whole Rondon scenario, I don't think that we will get Dwight Gale. If we go down and West Brom don't go up, then it might be a possibility, but I don't think I don't think so. Who do you think will be promoted from League Two? I think really my top automatic promotion: Lincoln, Mansfield, and Bury, and to go up through the playoffs. I'd probably go Forest Green because they've got Christian Deutsch back. So I'd go Lincoln to win the league, Mansfield second, Bury third, and Forest Green to go up through the playoffs. Do you have a second team? No, I don't. I don't have a second team actually. I do like other teams like abroad. Obviously, Frosinone is where my family originates from, Italy, so that's my local Italian team, and so that's probably I do follow them a lot. I do like watching the MLS as well. Actually, when the MLS comes back, I do like watching that on Sky Sports. So that's always good to watch. No, it's a bit refreshing, really, isn't it, to see from football. Fulham through and through. Yeah, I am Fulham through and through. Really, I don't really have a second team. Also, I do follow. As I said, I do follow the team at like Frosinone. I do keep an eye on their results, but apart from really, I'm basically really I'll not say hardcore, but basically Fulham. Basically black and white, really, aren't I? Would you like to see Fulham sign well, Mitrovic, it all depends if we start. I think if we don't start, he'll probably leave. But I do think, I don't know. I'd like to see if maybe get Billy Sharp or something like that maybe next year. He scores his guaranteed goals, isn't he, every year and that. I think Billy Sharp would be one, although his age probably would give Tony Khan a heart attack, wouldn't it? Because I know he doesn't like signing players over 28, but probably him. Definitely. Yeah, I know American football chants ain't great. I did see one on Twitter the other day of like the Man City American fans doing that silly alligator thing, which I don't understand why, but about like Leroy Sane or like Leroy, I don't know, it's just silly, isn't it, really? But it's not good, but yeah. Favourite MLS team? Good question. I am LAFC for me, they're my MLS team. Newly formed last year, but they're my team, or American like MLS team I like to follow. I'm not a supporter, but I tend to keep an eye on their results. I do like them, really. Seri's been hit and miss this year. There's been some times where you see his quality shine through in games, and sometimes it can be a bit disappointing. So on the whole, probably about a 7 out of 10, I'd say, really. Not been fantastic, but not been terrible either, like sort of middle ground. Favourite non-league team? Tough one. Favourite non-league team? Well, probably I've got two non-league teams actually very local to me in the National League South and that who are literally like round separated, like Welling and Dartford. Probably nearest to me, so I'd probably say either of them two. Do you think we can stay up? I'd like to think so, but probably not. Who is in your dream team? I don't know. I could have a combination of players from a bunch of different generations, but it'd probably be here all night. Probably Sutton, they're a decent side, very near to us. They could probably still go up this year. I think I'm not checked the National League table in a while, but last time I checked, they were doing okay. Sessegnon's been good this year, but we haven't. He's been okay, but we've not seen enough of him to really, especially in recent weeks, we've not seen enough of him. Yeah, I do agree that whole nonce scenario. I think they should just really just leave the whole. They should really go deal with the whole payment scenario privately instead of going public about it. I think. Do you hate Millwall? Not really, no. Out of Roy Hodgson, Kit Simons, and Martial, who do you prefer? Well, it's got to be anyone else in Roy Hodgson, really, isn't it? It's got to be Roy Hodgson every day of the week. What's your thoughts on the expansions of the Riverside stand? Yeah, Riverside stand, I think it had to be done. It's good to see us getting a new stand coming through. I think some of the facilities at Fulham probably could do with a bit more of a refurb, so it'd be good. Saw them a minute ago, someone's an LA Rams fan. Yeah, I know they lost the Super Bowl. I didn't watch the Super Bowl, really. I'm not a fan of American NFL at all. I said the only American sport I'll watch is the MLS, and that's when it's on Sky. Other than that, I don't watch any other American sports, because I don't know. I think NFL is just very stop-start, and it's hard to get my head around. Basketball, I haven't got really an interest in basketball either, so it's probably why I didn't watch really the MLS. Super Bowl was bad this year. Well, I didn't watch it, so I'm happy I didn't. Baseball's like basically a glorified. Actually, I should be careful saying that because it's probably not. I was about to say it's a glorified Rounders, but I'm sure the American people, or there's American people watching this, will probably absolutely crucify me for saying that. But do you like cricket? I don't mind cricket. I've been watching the England versus Windies Test series that's been going on, and that's been going on. You know, I've been watching that for the past few weeks, and that Rounders. Yeah, I knew people would actually that. I can't expect to get a reaction, so it's quite funny. People probably get angry. American football's basically yeah. The only baseball I've played was Wii Sports, like many years ago. That's the only baseball I've ever played is the Wii Sports baseball. Great times. You watch rugby? I watched the rugby last week down in the pub, the Six Nations, but I'm not a great fan of it. But I watched Six Nations last week. England beating Ireland. Yeah, Wii Sports was that was my childhood. Wii Sports that was good. That was good. But yeah, I did watch the rugby last week in the pub. Went down there for the football, but then realised the rugby was on, so basically sit there and have to watch it really. England are so bipolar when it comes to cricket. Do well versus Sri Lanka, and yeah, I know. My dad's a massive cricket fan and that, so he's got more of an interest in it than I do. But I do watch it when it's on and that. But yeah, the Windies Test series wasn't fantastic, was it? Really, to be brutally honest. As a Fulham fan, do you hate any other teams in particular, and why? Probably say Chelsea, really. I'd probably say that, and probably Brentford. I think Brentford's fans have a weird obsession with us. That's probably why I don't like them. So probably them. PES or FIFA? Probably FIFA at the moment. If Football Manager ever went to expanded to games console, then that'd be brilliant. I'd like to play that, but at the moment, PES, the gameplay is okay, but the licensing issues for me, that's why they fall short, really. I think so. Yeah, FIFA for me at the moment. I do play a bit of career mode now and again. I was playing it a little bit earlier on, actually. I had a little bit of time, so I thought I'd play it a little bit earlier on. So yeah, career mode's been okay this year, but it's all right. Did you play Red Dead? Yeah, I did play it. Yeah, I completed the story mode. Yeah, I finished that about 3 or 4 weeks ago, so I haven't played that for a while. I did play the Football Manager mobile version. I did. If you got told Fulham will score 4 tomorrow, would you still be nervous? Well, yeah, I'm the type of pessimistic fan, if that's the right term of phrase. That if we're winning 5-0 with a minute to go, I still think we'd probably draw 5-5. That's the way it is. Opinions on Fulham's FIFA ratings? Well, I think they're okay. I did a video on it actually. Before when they came out, so you probably get a bit more of a better opinion from me in there than probably now. But I support Fulham, then Shrewsbury, then Telford. Well, that's dedication supporting 3 teams, which is fair enough. Not a couple of lower league teams in there as well, which is always good. At least they're not like 2 Premier League teams. My rule says LOL. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, Football Manager, I did play the mobile version last year. That was quite good. I know the laptop version, or PC version, sorry, is a lot more complicated. On FIFA wise, quite slow. I know. I don't really think they pay too much attention to like the sort of lesser clubs in the ratings and that. I remember there was a rumour that there was going around that they did like a simulator to get all like the EFL ratings and stuff like that, which is a bit strange. Will you do a Fulham career mode? I might do one next year again, but at the moment probably not, because I know career mode's just gone down the pan recently, so probably not. And it's just a bit too much time and effort really to make for me at the moment, which I don't have, so probably not. If I had a little bit more time on hands, then maybe, but it's just too much time consuming to record it all and then upload it. Why do Fulham need to strengthen the summer? Well, I'll answer that probably in the summer when we actually see what type of squad we've still got left if we go down. In the Championship, we were playing Preston. It was 2-1 in the 91st minute when we scored. Yeah, that was when Dennis Sadoy got the equaliser. Will Wolves win the FA Cup? Well, they've got a good chance this year, haven't they? A lot of the big teams have crashed out. If they can avoid some of the big boys in the rounds and that, they've definitely got a good chance of going quite far. What's your thoughts on the January window? One word really for that, disappointing. Disappointing really on the whole. Considering where we needed to try and strengthen, we didn't do it. So yeah, disappointment for that was on the whole really, wasn't it? We could have probably done better in the window, but for whatever reason we didn't. And yeah. Man United fan here, what's your hopes for the weekend? Look, if we get a point, that would be a better result for us than it probably would be for you, because I think every pundit really has written us off. And anyone, if you're a betting man, would put your mortgage on Fulham getting tonked about 2 or 3 or 4 nil here. What do you think about Cabano? Yeah, he's a decent player, but I don't think he's Premier League standard. We'd like to see him stick around next year, though. United win the FA Cup, Wolves can get in the bin. That's fair enough. If you're a United fan, you're more entitled to your opinion, but I'm just going to stay out of that. Can you see Lee Johnson becoming the Fulham manager? Well, I know his dad's a Fulham fan, but I know he's not. But I know this is an interesting one, though. For me, I wouldn't want Lee Johnson because Bristol City they have this trend of starting well in the Championship, but then they fall away. And this year might be different because they're doing well at the moment in the top 6. But if they fall away again this year, then my point will be proved. What do you think about Cabano's dive against Oldham? Well, I actually had that on video in my vlog, and if you actually watch that, it's just a terrible dive. I caught it on camera, and I watched it on slow mo. And it was awful. Would you take Phil Jones, please? Sadly not. And I'm actually, if he plays on Saturday, then Mitrovic will probably give him the fright of his life. Spurs can win something in the next 5 years, hopefully. They need to, don't they? They need to win something in the next 5 years, or if not the next 2 years, in fact. Dropping out of Carabao and FA Cup so quickly as well this year. I couldn't imagine if they won the league this year. Tony Pulis for Fulham. No, I wouldn't want Pulis. Do you think we'll go down, Ross Jacob? Yes, I do. Fulham should get Harry Wilson and Mason Mount from Derby County and Tom Lawrence. Well, Mason Mount's on loan from Chelsea and Harry Wilson's on loan from Liverpool. So we'll have to buy him from them 2 clubs, wouldn't we? Tony Pulis, no. If you watch the performance on Tuesday night Middlesbrough, it was absolute dross. And I wouldn't want him anywhere near my football club. Jokanovic back to Fulham. I wouldn't want him back. Is it far-fetched that Mitchell kissing the badge means he loves us and will give us another season? Well, to me, pardon me, kissing the badge doesn't always guarantee that he's a player's loyal, really, does it? But we'll have to wait and see. Do you like my haircut? Well, unfortunately, I can't see your haircut, so I can't really judge that. But yeah, going back to the whole Mitrovic thing, if you kiss the badge in that, then you've got to, I don't know, you've got to prove that you're loyal, wouldn't you, if you're going to kiss the badge? But loyalty's a dirty word in football now, isn't it? Can you update? Foster Mensah's been crap this year. He's been absolute rubbish, disappointing signing, and I don't know why United didn't take him back. We didn't want him here. He's not wanted here really. He's been quite poor this year, unfortunately. And yeah, Mitro's got us in the Premier League. Yeah, but he scored 10 goals this year. I think Mitrovic would be perfect in the team at Liverpool, really, because I think I was watching the game against West Ham, and they could really do with a plan B, someone to come off the bench and really add a bit more physicality to their front line, and I definitely think he could add that. But do you think Spurs will fall apart soon? I don't know. I don't know. He's not a right back. Yeah, I don't think Foster Mensah is a right back at all. Do you think Ollie should get the job? If United keep carrying on this way and they get into the top 4, maybe have a decent FA Cup run, then who else could they go for? Fabry's number 2 now. Yeah, he is at the moment because Bettinelli's out for the rest of the season. So yeah, got to play 4 at the back. I do agree with that. The back 5 won't work on Saturday, but Ranieri will probably go for the back 5 because he want to get a point out of it probably and contain United. I'd probably say we could probably get about 40 million from Mitrovic. If he gets another 5 goals this year and gets about 15 or 16 goals, we could probably get at least £40 million for him. Do you think if we beat Palace on the opening day, it would have been a different situation? Probably not. I think if we'd have beaten Brighton in August, probably, yeah. Bettinelli's actually got a knee injury. He's aggravated the knee injury he had a couple of years ago, and that's why he's out for the rest of the season. He's got to have surgery on it, I do believe, as well, so he won't be involved until next year. Who should we worry about for the game? Well, obviously Mitrovic. If whoever's starting, I don't know if it's Phil Jones, Smalling, Rojo, but if he's come up against Phil Jones, then I would worry because Mitrovic, on his day, is unplayable. He gave Spurs a bit of a rough time the other week, and I'd be scared if I was Phil Jones. Tom Kearney as well, good player. Ryan Babel's done well this year as well, so probably them 3 in particular probably as well. But yeah, Mitrovic is probably going to be our main threat, and Man United will probably have to double up on him to try and at least, especially if we get balls in the box as well. Phil Jones, I don't know if he'll fancy it or not. Do you think Fulham should sign Marcus Rashford? We'll never sign Marcus Rashford. We'd never sign him, would we? Mitrovic will go abroad in the summer. Well, it all depends. If we stay up, he won't. I think he'll stay. If we go down, it'll be interesting. He'll probably line up against Bayern. That'd be interesting. Bayern, Linda. To be fair, and I kind of forgot about them too. Yeah, they've been quite. I know. I don't know how good they've been this year. I've not watched a lot of Man United, but I know Lindelof's not done too badly. Bayern, I've not seen too much either, so I'm not too sure really how they'd fare up against Mitrovic. But under Solskjaer, they must have improved. Bailly will have Mitrovic on toast. Well, I've not seen Bailly play too much, so I can't really argue that. But to be fair enough, people said that when he played against Virgil van Dijk at Anfield, and he gave him a good battle as well. So Bailly's a physical player, but Mitrovic is more than capable of giving any centre back in this league a go as well. Lewis Grabban would be a good signing, yeah. I think he'd be a good signing. He scores goals as well. Lindelof's up there with the best in the league. Bailly is rash but loves physical battle. That'll be good for him then. I think that'll be interesting. There'll be plenty of physical battles on Saturday between them two then. Would you take anyone from Newcastle? I don't know really. I don't know. I like the centre. I like that Fabian Schär or Schär, however you pronounce that. I think he's good, but I'm not so sure. Lindelof's better than Van Dijk. Unfortunately, I don't agree with that. I think Van Dijk at the moment is one of the best, probably one of the, if not arguably one of the best centre half in the league. I think he's a good player, but that's not me slagging off Lindelof whatsoever. I've not seen a lot of Lindelof. I've seen more of Van Dijk this year than Lindelof. If Lindelof plays well, if I see more of him, then yeah. Who do you think will go down this year? I think Huddersfield will probably all but down. I think we'll go down and Cardiff will go down as well. Ozzy Perez ain't bad, but I think he's not prolific enough really, is he? He's a good little workhorse up front, but do you think Fulham should sign Danny Bart? No, he's gone to where did he go? He's gone to Stoke on a permanent deal, so probably not. Lee Johnson, and Lee Johnson's cousin. Well, that's interesting. If Liverpool win the league, yeah, that's what I've said. Yeah, if Liverpool win the league, you never hear the end of it. I completely agree. They'll get like all these little badges made, woolly hats made, scarves made. They'll have a Jurgen Klopp shrine outside Anfield and everything. But I actually want to see it because I want to see Twitter just going to meltdown about it. I'd actually want to see it because I just think it'd be brilliant. See all the United fans and Everton fans and teams like that just kind of constantly going at each other with Liverpool. I think it'd be really funny. So I want to see it because I think it'd be hilarious. So it'd be really, really funny if that was the case. Brighton seems to be Man United's bogey team, especially at home at the Amex. Man United always seems to come up short there, but it might change maybe under Solskjaer, maybe if he gets a job. Would you take Andreas Pereira? We were linked with him about 2 seasons ago. We were going to get him on loan, but at the time, Jukanovic wanted him at the time, but Tony Khan turned around and said we weren't going to buy him, but we were going to take him on loan a couple of years ago, and it's a case of what might have been, really. I think we could struggle in the Championship next year. I think we could. I really think we could. I don't think we'll challenge next year, but we probably will finish around mid-table. Thoughts on Everton fans hating Newcastle? Well, look, I don't understand why they hate Newcastle. The Liverpool rivalry isn't really... It's a rivalry, but it's not like an aggressive rivalry, I don't think. People say it's more of a friendly rivalry, but I don't understand why they hate Newcastle for. I mean, what have Newcastle... As far as I'm aware, what have Newcastle done to Everton? A bit strange, really. Everton fans are okay. I'm not a great fan of Everton, really, but, you know... They're a decent club, but there was kind of that conspiracy last night that they kind of just allowed Man City to win. Obviously, they didn't, obviously, because that would be stupid if they did. But they had a few chances, didn't they? But yeah, a bit strange. What London teams do you hate the most? Probably Chelsea. I say we hate Newcastle because Alan Shearer turns down for them. Not that panned out. I never realised that. Actually, I didn't realise he actually turned United down to go to Newcastle. What about Callum Wilson? He wouldn't come to us, I don't think. Thoughts on Tottenham? I would say, don't rule them out of the title. Don't rule them out just yet. They'll have a big say in it as well. They've still got to play Liverpool away and Man City at the Etihad. Have they played Man City away yet? I don't think they have. I think they've played them at Wembley, but not away. Blackburn rejected Zidane for Tim Sherwood. Although Tim Sherwood actually was in the group that won the league, so I don't think that was too bad. But yeah, Zidane's, to turn down Zidane, suicidal. What do you think about Carlisle? Got a good chance to go up this year, haven't they? They made a few decent signings. I know they signed Mark Cullen, Stefan Skugel on deadline day, so couple of good signings there. So got a good chance of going up. Thoughts on Arsenal's owners? Just strange, aren't they? Really, there seems to be a lot of discontent with how the club's being run. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but from the snippets I see on AFTV, they're not happy, are they? Do you think if we go down, we can sign Harry Kane? It's probably one of them silly questions, so I probably won't answer that one. Seri's done okay. He's been frustrating really because if I had to sum up his season in the number, it'd probably be about 7. There's been some games where he's looked good this year, and you can see why we signed him and why big clubs wanted him. But there's been some games this year where you think, it's just been frustrating. But I think a lot of Fulham fans probably hope to see a little bit more from him. But in the performance, when he's been good, he's been fantastic. But we've just not seen enough of that consistency to really go on and prove why he's been scouted by so many big clubs. Thoughts on Fulham's owner? Well, Shai Khan and that. Look, I know that many fans don't like what happened in terms of transfers, but they mean well. And I think I've said before, some of the way our fans act on Twitter is if you think we're like Blackpool, something like that. So we're not. And look, we're fortunate we've got owners who care about the club, and we've just got to be we've just got to be good with them. Do you think Sessegnon will leave? I don't know. He's not had much game time under Ranieri this season, so I think if we go down, then it would look likely. Unfortunately, I'd like to see him stay, but Ranieri's really just seemed to be quite picky about him, especially in his press conferences. He said a lot of things. Do you like Chris Cowan? I did a little collab with Chris before the Spurs game on his channel. Yep, I spoke to Chris before the Tottenham game and that. Fantastic, down to earth, nice bloke. Did a little collab with him before the fixture at Craven Cottage. Yeah, nothing but kind words to say about him. See you later, Fem, mate. Thanks for dropping by. Your opinion on Ranieri, on what he said about Mitrovic? Yeah, it was silly, wasn't it, really? Why didn't you do a collab with United stand? Probably, I'm not big enough to do things with United stand, unfortunately, I don't think. I don't think they'd probably want me on their channel. If they wanted me, they'd probably do it with probably Fulhamish, because I think Fulhamish would probably, Fulhamish are bigger than me, and Fulhamish are a better channel, so they'd probably do it with them, which is up to them. I ain't got a problem with it. If they want to, if everyone wanted to message me on Twitter and collab with me, I've got no problem with doing that, but I don't think they probably would. I think probably Fulhamish would do it instead, and deservedly so. Deservedly so. What do you think about Sonny Aluko? He was all right for us, but to be fair, we got a bloody great deal from him, didn't we? I think it was what, £8 million, something like that, to go to Reading and be absolutely crap. So yeah, we were the ones laughing. Free transfer, and £8 million in the back pocket a year later. You can't complain with that, can you? After a fairly average season, I must admit as well. So it wasn't fantastic, was it? But yeah, no complaints. One season player he was when he had one decent season for us. And yeah, Bradley Dack, again, probably cost a lot of money. So especially in the Championship, we've got to be careful next year. Do you like Goldbridge? Yeah, I do like Goldbridge. I think he's comical. I like what he does. I do like what he does, and I think he's good. It does make me laugh. Thoughts on AF Tony Khan? Tony Khan, new thing with the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes. I used to watch wrestling when I was younger, so I do know who they are and that. I know he signed Chris Jericho, big marquee signing for them. But yeah, look, by the looks of it and that, it might take off. Quite a few big wrestlers there and that, so yeah. What's Fulham's main weakness? The defence? Yeah, I think you hit that on the head, mate. Our defence is our weak point, and I'm worried about coming up against players like Rashford, Lingard. I think Rashford who starts up front for Man United at the moment. I don't know. I think it's Martial, Lingard, and Rashford isn't the front three they normally use. I'm not too sure. So I know Lukaku. Has Lukaku much of a look in recently? I think he has. Well, not starting, but that front three they used against Spurs really did look fantastic, and even against Arsenal in the FA Cup. And I think to myself, if they play against us, we're going to get served. Sam Johnston won't leave West Brom, I don't think. I think he's found a settled home there. I don't think he'll leave there anytime soon. He's been another one who's been out on loan a number of times. Probably happy to finally settle at a club now, so would be unlikely. Marek Rodak, I think, will probably get #1 shirt next season. I'd like to see him. 2 seasons with Rotherham, a promotion as well, so would be good. Normally Rashford, Martial, Lingard, yeah, I thought so, yeah. It's a good lineup, that is. Pacey, direct, plenty of flair as well, so they'll cause us a lot of trouble, I think. But yeah, I do worry about them on Saturday. Lukaku plays in Timberlands. I think Mark Goldbridge say he plays in tight jeans and Timberlands, didn't he? Which is which is a good analogy. I must admit, Goldbridge's analogies are just brilliant. They really are. Will Tony Khan get sacked by his dad? I don't think so. I think if Tony Khan was going to leave, I think he'd walk away. I think if he walked away, he could play that Craig David song, then couldn't you? I'm walking away from all the troubles in my life and that. It'd probably be Tony Khan, wouldn't it, if he left Fulham? It'd be quite funny. Rashford, Lingard, Martial will play, but oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, PSG on Tuesday night. I forgot about the Champions League on Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm sure Ollie will have one eye on that game as well as Saturday as well, which might be an advantage to us maybe. But Does Brighton have the potential to be a Europa League team like Fusion thinks? I don't know. I don't think they do. Not yet. Potentially in the future they could do, but at the moment probably not. I don't think so. I don't think at the moment. Probably not. I don't think Lingard is that good. What do you think? I don't know. Lingard's a decent player. I don't think he's crap, but he's decent. Would you take Sanchez? I don't want him. No, I don't think so. I wouldn't want to take Sanchez. We've got Schürrle, and he's been a terrible luxury player, so we want another one. Who's going to go up for the Championship? I think Norwich will. I think Sheffield United will, and I think Leeds will. What were your hopes when your season began? Just to start, really. Even before we had all the big money signings and that, our main hope was to start this year and then maybe try and rebuild again. Thoughts on 21 Savage? I never heard of that. Oh, no, actually, no, 21 Savage, I have heard of him, but I don't really pay attention to all that type of nonsense on social media. Do you want the classic zero skill or passion centre-backs such as Terry and Berdinio? Well, they're the type of centre-backs who are good, aren't they? But probably, yeah. Thoughts on Mason Greenwood, sorry. I said Greenwood, didn't I there? I've not heard much about him, but I've not seen too much about him, but I've heard big things from him. So he's a player of bright future, Mason Greenwood. So I've not seen too much to really have an opinion on him, but I know he's got a big future ahead of him. So yeah. If he gets that, he might do him good to get on a loan deal next year, maybe get some first team men's football and then just take it really from there. Could you see Wolves finishing in the top 6 in the near future? I think so. They've done fantastic well this year, haven't they? Would you take Michel Vaughan? Probably not. He looks a bit of a dodgy keeper when I've seen him. I think Gazaniga's had a number 2 there. Marcus Maddison from Peterborough. Yeah, he's a decent player. Probably, but we don't really tend to buy players from Leagues 1 and 2, really, do we? That's not really part of our recruitment policy, which is something I'd like to see more of. Most embarrassing fan channel, in your opinion? Oh, God, I've got to be careful I've got to be careful when saying this. I don't know. I really don't know. I think I don't know because I like the United stand. AFTV I generally like as well because they've got a few decent people on there and that. I don't know. I don't really think there's. I don't know. It's a tough one. It's a very tough one. I'll probably pass on that one because I don't watch all the fan channels. I only watch AFTV and really the United stand now and again. So I don't really watch anyone else really. So and the 2 I've watched in that I don't really think are embarrassing at all, really. I mean, some of the things they say in that are, you know. One signing, do you watch 100%? I do watch 100%. I have watched a bit of 100% Chelsea, yeah. Watched some of the vlogs. One player we could have signed, we didn't in the end. Probably that Sabali from Bordeaux. We needed a good right back. We were linked with him all with January and we didn't get him. And we need a right back, so probably, yeah. Casper says hello. Do you watch Full-Time Devils? A little bit. MK Dons used to have a fan channel. Yeah, they did actually. And I remember when they played us at Craven Cottage, I remember I watched a vlog on that. And I remember all their the fans who vlogged on the coach all like panicking because one of their mates got hit by a bike in like Putney High Street. And it was so funny. Like, they're basically getting all upset because one of their mates had been hit by a bike and he was like rushed off to hospital somewhere. It's like some absolute crazy they didn't actually have the incident on film, but yeah. Do you like Josh Madger? He's got the ball though, isn't he? I know he scored a lot of goals at Sunderland this year, but he probably should have already stayed there. Another one, he'd probably chase the money, really. Would it work? Probably not. Ranieri, stick or leave? If we go down, leave. Even if we stay up, probably leave as well. I think he's been very dull with style of football, unfortunately, so probably leave. Your thoughts on Martin Stecklenburg? Dodgy keeper, I felt, really. He was okay. He wasn't great, was he? Wasn't fantastic, but that year, that season was just terrible with an ageing group of players, and relegation probably in the end did us some good. I've seen the Magpie channel on Newcastle Fan TV. I've seen Newcastle Fan TV. I've seen a little bit of it. I'm not. I don't know. I don't really watch a load of fan channels, but I do see some of them floating around on that. So I do have an idea. I have seen a bit of the Newcastle video before. What do you think about Mark? I think it's like Schwarzer. Yeah, Schwarzer was a great keeper, weren't he? Fantastic player and that brilliant pro as well, weren't he? You don't get many characters like him anymore. What's your starting 11 for the game? Probably Rico in goal. We don't know who's going to be playing right back yet because Christie's injured and Fossey Mensah can't play, so that's probably vacant at the moment. If we're going to go back 5, it'd probably be Lamarche, Dodoy, Tim Ream, Joe Bryan in there. Chambers, Seri. I'd probably go Babel, Kenny. Right wing, I don't know who'd probably start on the right, or even go Babel right, Sessegnon left, Kenny through the middle, with Mitrovic up top on his own probably. So that'd be my starting 11. Do you miss Fredericks? Yeah, I do. I think he really suited the the style under Jukanovic. I think we've never really replaced him, have we? Christie is not the same type of player. Back five's too negative, yeah, I know, but Ranieri won't change, unfortunately, I don't think. Iñaki Williams, I'd probably take, but we probably couldn't afford him. At Bilbao, would probably want too much money, so we probably couldn't afford him, sadly. We need Gordon Ramsay as our captain. He'd probably shake things up when he Gordon Ramsay. Who would you rather have, Big Sam or Tony Pulis? Probably Big Sam. I mean, it's just a, it's a tale of, it's a case of two different. It's a case of one extreme to the other, really. But probably Big Sam. Just. I mean, if I did the choice, I wouldn't want either of them, but probably them. Probably Big Sam. But no, decent keeper. When we played them at Craven Cottage, we didn't test him enough. I know Schürrle chipped him for our equaliser, but he's done okay for Arsenal when I've seen him. He's not been amazing, but I think I've not seen Arsenal a lot this year either, but I think he's done okay when I've seen him. He's not been too bad. Better than Petr Cech, obviously, who will be retiring. Jardim actually turned us down, I think. There was talk about Jardim actually rejecting us. He didn't want to come to us. This is when he was obviously out of a job, but yeah, I think he didn't want us. Big Sam could get a job in Toby Carvery, yeah. Who will be our manager after Ranieri? I don't know yet. That'll be interesting. It'll all depend on what league we're in before we come to a choice, I think. Who's getting promoted from League One? I'm trying to think who's top of League One now. I can't remember. League table. I can't remember who's top of League One. I know Sunderland are in the playoffs. I know Charlton are in the playoffs. So I can't remember who's in the top two. Just had a bit of a brain screw up there. Bit of a best backs of the top six, excluding Zaha. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. So Zaha's a decent player, but Luton's top. Yes, Luton. I think Luton will go up. That's it. Luton are top. Wimbledon will probably go down. Portsmouth, I think, will go up as well. Portsmouth, I think, maybe go up. Barnsley are doing well. I think I'll probably go Luton to win the league. Either Barnsley or Portsmouth automatics. If Portsmouth get automatic, then them, and then probably Barnsley through the playoffs, because I think they're out of Charlton and Sunderland, and possibly maybe someone like Peterborough or somebody like that. I'm not, then I think Barnsley have probably got the strongest squad out of teams like that and around them. So Luton, Pompey, and Barnsley all to go up, I think. Up the tick, says Wigan Latics. Yeah, I think Wigan are set up this year quite comfortably. They should be all right, shouldn't they, really? They won't be involved in that little bit of a scrap down the bottom of the league. Which team and player has impressed you the most? Oh, that's a good question. Very good question. I don't know, because at home and that, whenever we've played against teams that we've not been out, I think we've been in the majority of games, really. I think even when Arsenal beat us 5-1, I didn't think they were spectacular. I think we made it very easy for them. I'm trying to think really who's been the best team we faced down there, because I don't know. So again, that's another tough question. Best team we faced this year. I'd probably say Bournemouth, but they beat us 3-0 that day, and I was really impressed with how they set up, so I'd probably go Bournemouth. Most improved Fulham player, yeah, probably I'd agree with Callum Chambers. Yeah, if Sunderland bottled promotion, I think Newcastle fans would just laugh at them, wouldn't they? I know they were tipped to go up, but they didn't. Spent £4 million on Will Grigg, yeah, and to think you could have got João Moutinho for an extra £1 million, which is just absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? A Euro 2016 winner, a Portuguese national player, all for £5 million, and then you pay £4 million for a song and a striker, really, don't you? Maybe it was £3 million for Will Grigg and maybe £1 million for the song, maybe, I don't know. If you were given £100 million, who would you get into Fulham? Tough one, because again, it'd have to be on where, if you asked me that question in the summer, probably have to give you a bit more of a better answer, but for the time being, I probably couldn't. So if you ask me that in the summer, then I'll be able to give you a bit more of a better answer, because at the moment, I don't know where we'll be next year, what league we'll be in, Championship or Premier League. Yeah, Wolves been the best team this year, outside the top six. Although I didn't think they were spectacular when they played against us on Boxing Day, but consistently they've been fantastic this year, no doubt about it. Harry Kane for £100 million, he probably cost double that, wouldn't he? I don't think Tottenham would probably sell him for that. They probably want to sell him for about 200 probably, and probably wouldn't want to go to us anyway. Will Sunderland be a Premier League team anytime soon, like their fans say? I don't know. It's not as easy as it is. It's not as easy as they probably think it will be to get back. So probably not. I mean, look at Leeds and Sheffield Wednesday. They went into League One. They're still not back in the Premier League, are they yet? So it just shows you it's not as easy, and that's what I worry about for us as well. That we won't be back for a while. I don't think if we do go down. Kieran Trippier, he wouldn't leave Tottenham. He wouldn't leave Tottenham. Be unrealistic, I think. We wouldn't be able to afford him, and I don't think he want to come to us either. Wolves got lucky against us. See, I didn't see the game that day because I was out, but I did see the highlights and something happened. I think like didn't Yedlin get sent off or something like that, didn't he? Like controversially or something. We don't want them weird side twats anywhere near. Sunderland obviously don't go down too well with United fans. Yeah, I like Bielsa. I think he's a good manager. I think Thomas. I think you're just trying to be a bit funny there, aren't you, saying all them players? Plus, you spelt Lloris wrong as well. Trippier is dog shit. Can't defend and can't attack. I'd rather you take him. I don't think it will come to us anyway. Sadly, if we go down, how long do you think it will be before we get promoted? I think probably. I don't know. It probably depend on what type of squad we've got next year going into the Championship. If we've got a semi-competitive team, then probably I'd like to think maybe 4 years. But it's not easy, is it? We've seen that before. It took us 4 years last time around, and I worry they could probably take double that maybe. I'm not good at this minute. Why are you so pessimistic about Markovic? I suppose because he's I don't know. He's had a stop-start career. And I don't know. I'd love to see him do well, but I just don't see it happening. Who'll make the top 4 this year? Liverpool, Man City, Liverpool. Any order you want to take that in? Tottenham, they're nailed on, aren't they? They'll probably go United to get that full spot. And that's not just because the United fans asked me that. I just think they probably will because they're in good form. Will Fulham do a Sunderland? I hope they won't, but I wouldn't be surprised if we did in the end. Although I hope we don't, but it would be a shame, wouldn't it? But I hope we don't. But you know. We should take Ronaldo Vieira. I think he's currently at Sampdoria at the moment, I think. But I've not seen how he's got on there. But he did all right at Leeds, didn't he, when he was there? But I've not seen what he's done at Sampdoria to really come up with an answer for that one. So probably not at the moment. I think we're 81 minutes in. I think we're going for another 5 more minutes, then we'll round this off. We'll probably go to about 25 to 9, and then we'll probably round it off. Well, okay, you're back at Fulham in the summer. Well, yeah, he will be, because obviously it's a loan deal, so he'll come back. But whether or not he'll stay to see through the summer is a different, you know, I'm not too sure. But he will be back, but whether or not he stays when he gets back is another matter. I don't think he personally will, but it's up to whoever's the manager then. It'll be their call to make the decision. Who's flopped at Fulham this year? Well, oh God, I can name a whole host of players really probably flopped. Probably we spent £30 million on Anguissa. We haven't seen him play since Man United away, so don't know where he's gone. Can you see Blackpool going up only a couple of points off the playoffs? Probably. They got a chance. It's so tight in League One, isn't it? But yeah, who would you rather keep? Would you rather keep AK or sell him? I'd probably sell him really. I think he's a bit of a bad egg really, but yeah, I'd probably probably sell him. Sorry. Yeah, AK did get 47 to be called that. Yeah, he did. He did get that to be called AK 47. Yeah, as childish as that may seem, he did. That was the reason behind that. Ings is injured. That's good news for us. I know we play Southampton away in a couple of weeks, so yeah, that's positive. But that won't be easy. Did you score a penalty yet? Yeah, we did score a penalty. Yeah, but it will. I think we are a better team at home. We are, but it will be tough. But I just don't see us winning it. What about Oscar? He's in China at the moment. Yeah, I don't think he'll leave China. I'm realistic again. I think, especially from the Championship next year, it won't happen. Sadly, I mean, I like, you know, but I mean, I don't know how he's getting on. I don't know how he's getting on in China, but unfortunately, I don't think that would happen. Someone gave you 1 million to wear a Chelsea shirt. Would you do it? Probably not. No, I wouldn't take Hulk. No, probably. I think he's past it. What's your thoughts on the Emiliano Sala situation? Sad, isn't it? Really, I spoke about it a little bit earlier on in the stream. It's just really sad, isn't it? Really, you know, my heart goes out to all the families of Dave Ibbotson, the pilot, as well, and Emiliano. It's just tragedy. Do you play Fortnite? No, never have, never will. Who should we sell in the summer? I don't know. It depends on where we are. I said before, it all depends on what league we're in and how we're gonna approach it next year. But if we stay up, then I don't know who will go. But if we go down, then obviously your bigger names like your Kearneys, Mitrovic, Sessegnon probably would leave. But we just got to see. If you played hoofball, we would have struggled. We don't really play hoofball. We do try to play through the thirds and try to play decent football, but we do like to get balls out wide into the box, which isn't really a problem. But I hope we can take Mason Holgate. He's on loan at West Brom at the moment, doing okay there, I think. So he's not doing too badly, is he? But we've just got to wait and see next year, haven't we? I keep saying it and I keep going back to that, but yeah. Macclesfield to stay up, Morecambe to go down. You heard it first. Well, I kind of agree there. I think Macclesfield will stay up. Sol Campbell's only 3 points off safety. I think even Yeovil could go down as well, maybe. When the FA Cup or the League Cup, FA Cup more prestigious. Cup FA Cup all day long. League Cup, probably not. Do a review of the game. I'm actually going, so I'll be doing a vlog. So you'll probably see my experience throughout the whole of the game. Well, not the whole of the game, but you'll see my vlog on Saturday. I'm going back Saturday, so you'll see my match vlog on Saturday if you do want to watch it. If you don't, then it's not a problem. But you'll probably see that. Yeah, Morecambe of the League to Sunderland. Really? I don't think that's really. I don't know. Would you take David Neres? Never heard of him. Win League Cup or the Championship? Probably win the Championship. What inspired you to start the channel? Well, it was when I don't know. I never really had any idea to really start a channel before, and it was only really when we played Cardiff at home last season, back in September. We drew 1-1, and we hadn't started the season too well at all. So so we didn't start too well. So I thought to myself, I was really frustrated. We threw away. I think we drew 1-1. I think that day we threw it away. And I thought to myself, instead of maybe tweeting my opinions, I'm going to pick up my camera, I'm going to talk about it and put it on YouTube. Didn't expect it to get any really sort of, any sort of really response, but it got over 500 views and that. And people said to me, you should do this more often. It's good. We liked what you said and that. So I carried it on, and then people started saying to me, you should do vlogs at games and stuff. So I did that, and it's all just gone up from there. Really, I mean. Nearly 1,500 has been. It's crazy. I never expected that, so it's been great. Well, you support Italy in the 2006 World Cup? Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was actually away in Spain on holiday at the time, but then we flew back here for the final and then watched the final here. The channel's going well, definitely. I do appreciate that. I mean, I try and do my best whenever I can. I mean, it's not. I know compared to other football channels, and that it's nowhere near as good. So what I don't have in quality, I do try and make up in other areas, which I haven't got the financial resources to try and have all this fantastic editing footage and software and all that, but I do try. Got your I was your 1,000 subscriber. Thanks for that. Got a new sub, mate. Oh, cheers for that, Phil Mitchell. Brilliant. Got the East End hard man there. Who do you think is going down this season? I said before, Fulham. I think Huddersfield are down. They've finished 20th. We'll go 19th, and I think Cardiff will finish 18th. Do you record on your phone or a camera? I use my phone at the moment. Cameras and that are pricey at the moment, and I don't have the money for a camera, but I use my phone, and it's simple, isn't it? It's easy to do it It's easy to do it then. It's 7 off 1.5k. Yeah, we're getting there. We'll probably hopefully hit that after Saturday. Hopefully, all being well. When don't you go to a Fulham game? Yeah, I mean, I do go occasionally to about Dartford or Welling when we are international break. I do go sometimes. Obviously went to Cambridge a couple of times last year as well, which I probably won't be doing anymore, but. I did. If I go to Dartford again or Welling, I'll probably. If people wanted to see a non-league video and that, then I could probably definitely do that. Something different, which would be interesting. I like non-league football as well. It's definitely good, but yeah. If people wanted to see a non-league video, maybe I know the next international break's up in March, so probably yeah. Thoughts on Salford? I probably expect them to go up this year. They're a good team. Obviously, been compared to the Man City of non-league, but they've got a good squad. I know Graham Alexander and Chris Laketti are a good coaching staff as well, so. Yeah, on my phone, you've been streaming 15 minutes, so I've been streaming for about 87 minutes here. I don't know why it does that. YouTube's strange, really. I mean, YouTube has a lot of bugs and problems. What's the price at Craven Cottage? Well, in terms of a match ticket or just like food and alcohol or something like that? I don't know. Match ticket or ticket prices this year that they've been ludicrous. I mean, they can range from about 40 quid to about £70 this year. It's been really. So many fans have really showed their discontent with the prices. This has been wrong. Craven Cottage sold out on Saturday. Yeah. That's a perk of having a season ticket, really. You can just go whenever you want, and yep, I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, Craven Cottage will be sold out for the next 4 home games. Obviously, we're going to get a lot of day trippers or tourists, whatever you want to call them, turn up, because at the moment they're the only ones who can really fill up our seats at the moment for the prices that have been offered. So it's a shame, really. London is ridiculous. Yeah, the prices in London, football in London. Well, I've been to Charlton a few times. Their ticket prices have been much cheaper. Obviously, they're in League One, so obviously you can't really draw too many comparisons. But yeah, football in London is not cheap at all, really. Sadly, and it has to change. I think you're probably best off by Leighton Orient season ticket, especially if they go up next year and that. You probably get more for your money's worth. A club who are wanting to try and turn things around after their misfortune. So yeah, you probably get more money than probably going up to Newcastle and being let down. Probably best away stadium you've been to. Probably Anfield. Anfield's brilliant. I've been to Anfield a couple of times. I've just been taken away by how brilliant it is. Do you play Football Manager? I played the mobile version last year. I've never played on PC, but I did play the mobile version. I think the mobile version is probably better because it's much more slicker and probably easier to play. I got a cheaper season ticket. Yeah, I always get the early bird renew. I always renew early bird, so yeah, it's cheap. Late Orient season ticket costs £10. If it's a £10, then you can't complain at that, can you? Who's the team you hate the most? Probably Chelsea, I'd say. But yeah, £10 for Late Orient season ticket, and probably on the verge of going up this year as well. For a tenner, that's absolute quality. They'll probably go up a little bit next year. You think it's fair for non-stars for the Salah fee now? I think, look, if they want to do that, I think it was best they probably did that behind closed doors instead of going public about it, because I think really they should really respect Salah and the pilot Dave Everson's family's wishes, and maybe just keep things a little bit quiet for the time being. Once they've identified who this person could be in the wreckage, they should have really gone about this thing quietly. Instead of making it public, I think it's a bit of a lack of respect. I saw their Samsung or Apple. Well, I've had both really in the past. I've had the Samsung phone, but at the moment, Apple for me. Who will win the Champions League this year? It's a tough question. I don't know. Ooh. I don't know. That's tough. The English team's probably got a little chance, but I think maybe I'd probably go Juventus. Probably Juventus for me. I think that might be my pick. Season ticket's like £189. What's that for Leyton Orient? Is it, or is that Newcastle? I think what he says are ridiculous. Not just the old time. Yeah. Tickets for Old Trafford. I can imagine it's probably just ridiculous up there, isn't it, to get tickets? You know, I can imagine. Well, because May United are a brand, aren't they, as well as the club? So they need to try and make as much revenue as they can. I mean, they're rich enough, aren't they? But I suppose that's probably why they get all these top fans come from abroad and stuff, because they'll pay the money at Spurs. Cheapest one was. It's wrong, isn't it? When you're paying like nearly £800 for a season ticket, or even I've seen people in other clubs need to pay £1,000. It's wrong, because then you're totally pushing away sort of the younger audience as well, the next generation of your club's fans as well. I think it's wrong, and I don't think it'll ever change, and it's just going to be worse. Leyton Orient, £189 for Leyton Orient. Bloody hell. Interesting. It's not terrible, I don't think, but I can't remember how much I paid for my Fulham season ticket. You move 2 rows, you pay 20 quid more. I know, it's ridiculous. I can imagine that. It's terrible. Even at Fulham now, you used to be up at Fulham in the Championship last year. If you want to upgrade if you had the season ticket and you want to cancel it, and you want to upgrade it to a normal ticket, you could do it for a £5. But now, and you used to be able to pay the difference. But now they're charging fans 50 quid to do it and stuff. And you think to yourself, if you did it for about a £5 or a £10 last year in the Championship, you go up to the Premier League and you're charging double that amount nearly. So it's stupid. Well, not even double that's wrong, but you add an extra zero onto that amount. It's silly, isn't it? It's wrong. I wasn't surprised Burnside Peter Crouch. I mean, the Brexit team making the Brexit signings. You can't really be surprised there, can you? But yeah, I can't be surprised. What are Nantes asking for the Salah fee? They're asking for the £15 million that Cardiff paid. And you can see why they are, because obviously Salah signed the contract with mention he wasn't officially a Cardiff player, but obviously sad events happened and they obviously want their money, don't they? But they could do it in a better way, I think, but yeah. What's the time now? Is it 20 to 9? Okay. Right, we've gone a little bit over, but we'll go to 8:45 and we'll end it. Do you think United have a chance Champions League? I don't know. I think this will be probably Ollie's first big test against some quality players. They've definitely got a chance against PSG. I remember Liverpool played against them in the group, and PSG weren't fantastic. And United are playing some good stuff at the moment, so they've got a good chance. If they can really take the games to PSG and don't sit back and really... under Mourinho, I don't think they will, because I think Solskjaer will want to try and take them on in a way. But I'm sure you want to be conservative. But they've got a squeak. Thoughts on Spurs Dortmund? I'm looking forward to that game. That'd be good. Spurs can definitely win that. Dortmund are a decent side this year, but Spurs have got a good chance. If they can get Kane back sooner rather than later, then they have an even better chance. But this could be a good season for Spurs. If they can progress in the Champions League and put a bit more of a threat down in the league, you never know what could happen this year. They're only a couple of points off of Liverpool now as well, even Man City. So all it takes is Liverpool, Man City to keep slipping up, and Spurs to maybe win the next couple of games, and it all changes, doesn't it? So it'll be I hope this tight race will be tight. What do you think of Hitch? I don't play Hitch. Can you see Dortmund winning the Champions League? I could do, but I think Spurs knock them out, if I'm being brutally honest. I don't know, but it's going to be so tight, this Champions League. Anyone can win it. Yeah, Etheridge used to play for us, but we released him. What do you think about Neymar always being injured around February and March? Yeah, I mean, it's strange, isn't it? I just see it's strange, isn't it? What games do you play? I play FIFA. I did play Red Dead, like GTA and things like that, really. But I don't play them a lot, but they're the type of games that I'd probably play if I had the choice. Right then, guys, I think we're going to wrap the stream up there, guys. Thanks for joining, everyone. see you on my video. Come out match preview tomorrow, match day vlog Saturday, and then back for this on Thursday again. Sorry. So if next stream's on next Thursday. If you did enjoy that, guys, hopefully you all did. Thanks for dropping by as always. It's been a good laugh again. 94 minutes we've been on for, so thanks for watching.